Hey, Bobby here with Nubworthy Cigars. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about the different cutters that you may encounter out there in the wild on your cigar smoking journey. And yeah, so let's take a look at a nice little slideshow here and talk about some specific cutters. Up first, we have your classic guillotine cutter. Very simple in operation. We have a few cigars that are basically the next cigars I'll be reviewing for the channel when I have an opportunity. So this particular cutter has a serrated edge. I'm not sure if you can quite see that there, but that serrated edge helps give you a straighter cut. You may see a lot of cheaper guillotine cutters out there, just two flat pieces of steel, or even cheaper ones with maybe just one side that would press down. But this is a pretty nice little cutter here, and we're going to use it to cut our Trinidad Fundadores, which we will be smoking here shortly. It's got a nice little pigtail there, that lovely Cuban triple cap, if I can get it to focus. And yeah, this is a great Lancero. I'm excited to review it. Let's see how this guillotine cutter works. All right, so I don't have a great camera here, but basically what we want to do is we want to go to what's often referred to as a shoulder with our guillotine cutter here. And we want to cut above that shoulder. And what that means is we want to look at where the caps are glued down to the rest of the wrapper, and we want to cut above that. So we'll go just below our pigtail, and there is another way that you can twist off those pigtails, but I prefer a straight cut here. So go ahead and line up our angle of attack, and voila, that's simple. Nice, beautiful, straight cut, and that's going to be a joy to smoke here shortly. All right, up next, I have a new personal favorite, the scissors. Now, this is a nice little pair of scissors for cutting cigars. This is a bit older school of an approach, but I'm a big fan. So let's go ahead and take a look at this Monktocristo. This is another nice Cuban that we're going to smoke soon. This is from before they changed the bands in 2017. I believe this is from 2015. I'll have to double check my box date. But yeah, so let's check out how the scissors cut compared to the guillotine. All right, one thing I will note is there's a bit more nuance in the way that you want to approach your actual cut with scissors compared to a guillotine, but the fundamentals are the same as to where we want to place our cut. So we're going to look for that shoulder again, which is where the cap meets the rest of the wrapper, and there's our nice Cuban triple cap, if you can see it there, and we're going to go just above that and make a nice smooth, solid motion for cutting. And hopefully you get a nice straight cut after that, and you don't get any tears along the side. So you definitely want to approach scissors with a bit more care than your standard guillotine, especially if you happen to have one of those guillotine styles with the serrated blades. I really can't stress enough how nice of a cut those guys produce there. But there you go. Those are our scissors, and let's take a look at the next style, the wedge cut here. So let's face it, for all of us who've been smoking for a while, and even those of us who are new to smoking, we know of Padrons, and if we are familiar, we enjoy smoking Padrons from time to time. They're not cheap cigars by any means, but there is a challenge that faces the vast majority of the Padron line, in my opinion, and that is a single cap on the end of the wrapper, which can definitely make for some tricky cuts, especially for beginners. Something that I think helps alleviate some of that issue is the next cutter we're going to look at. Now, this cutter is more versatile than being just used for Padrones, but I am going to cut a Padron 1926 with this bad boy. But this is our wedge cut. So as you can see, it cuts a little wedge. Cuts a little wedge out of the end of the cigar. I'm trying to give you a shot of the inside of a tack if I can. And it's angled. This is also referred to as a V-cut, V-cut, wedge cut, corner cut. You'll hear a couple different names out there in the wild, but they all mean the same thing. This is a cheaper cutter, but speaking from experience, there are some very nice, higher-end V-cuts out there, no doubt. But this is one area where a cheaper V-cut is not necessarily a bad thing. As to where like a cheap guillotine or a cheap pair of scissors can definitely get you into some trouble. I find these cheap V-cuts to be quite nice, and actually the higher end V-cuts tend to cut a little deeper, so if you're less experienced, you may not quite have the nuanced the nuances down yet of not pressing your cigar all the way back against the base. But with these cheap guys, you get them for $2-5 sometimes online. You just press your cigar all the way back in that depression there, hold it tight, bring down your clipper, and you're good to go. Nice, simple, easy to use. These are great. So let's take a look at how it cuts. All right, so here we are, a closer look, if I could focus a little better, but a closer look at that dreaded Padron single cap on a very nice 1926 with a few years on it that is going to be a real treat to smoke soon. But we'll go ahead and bring in our wedge or V cutter, or corner cut. And again, it's as simple as lifting up the end there, pressing your cigar all the way back in there, firmly, of course. Bring it down, and you have a nice, perfect wedge cut in there. Some people say this gives you a better airflow on your cigar and can concentrate the flavor, things like that. A lot of that stuff is all personal opinion based, but I can tell you from experience, they're great for cutting Padrones. They leave your cap nice and intact. You never have to worry about your cigar unraveling, and it's a nice versatile cut in my opinion, and I use it often on all kinds of cigars. Yeah, so that is our V-cut. Well, if you happen upon this little cigar cutting tutorial, that was just a look at 3 of the many different ways that you can cut and prepare to enjoy your cigar. If this video finds a couple people and we want to look at any different types of cutters, I have a few other things that I'd like to show you guys in the future. So if this video is interesting to anyone, please do let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, please do let me know as well. Always happy to talk to anyone about cigars. So I look forward to putting some new reviews out soon. I know it's been about a year, but the 3 cigars we cut today are the next 3 on the agenda. So look forward to some reviews coming soon, potentially some more subscription unboxing videos, and I definitely want to get into some counterfeit Cuban videos. So if any of that stuff sounds interesting to anyone out there, please do let me know. Thanks for watching, and stay smoky out there, guys.